Welcome to Auto Life. I'm not on the road today. I was going to do a video on how I paid off my Corolla Hybrid. Some people are afraid to get car notes because they always have to pay what they believe is a high amount every month, so they're reluctant to get a new car. So this video is sort of encouragement for those who don't believe it's possible to pay off a car note. This video is for you. First thing, when I first got the car, I just randomly one day said, I think it's time for me to get a new car. I was driving a 2001 Camry sedan, and I went to the dealership. One dealership, they acted like they didn't know what a Corolla. They didn't know if they had any in stock. I said, okay, they're acting stupid. I don't know what that was, so I just left and went to another dealership. That was in Trevose, Pennsylvania, and I ended up purchasing my car in Langhorne, Pennsylvania. So my car note originally was $500, I think, and some change. And I had the tire package at this particular dealership. When you get a flat, you could take it back to them and they would replace the tire by appointment. So I had that, and I had like dent and scratch and interior, something with the interior. So I had brought it up to $500, the car note. And that was, I believe, 60 months. So I ended up paying the car off this year. So I made the payments on time every time. Sometimes I would make payments ahead of time. So when I had extra money, is one of the techniques I use. When I had extra money, I would put more down on the car, whether it was double payments or like a payment and a half. So if I were to ever go behind, I could already be ahead already. And I was like hyper focused on getting the car paid off. I also considered refinancing. Now, my original loan is with Toyota Financial Services, I believe it's called, with Toyota. And I stayed with them. I didn't refinance. I thought about refinancing for a longer term or refinance it for a shorter term. I don't even believe you can even decide what you want. I'm not sure, but I didn't go the refinancing route. $500 a month was good enough for me. I would just make either double payments or a payment and a half. More so, it was double payments to get the car paid off faster. Second thing I did was not take my car to the dealership for repairs. That was a big one. So I would save a lot of money. I'm an automotive technician by trade. They would charge you $90 for an oil change, which when you're performing, when you have a shop to run, you need to charge appropriately to keep the doors open. So they charge $90 for an oil change, and I could do my own oil change for $35. So it didn't make sense to get oil changes done. And the Corollas are relatively easy to work on. So the most complex thing I've ever did was probably the hub assemblies, the wheel bearings, shocks. I guess they're within the same area of difficulty, shocks and struts. So I avoided going back to where I bought the car from to get repairs, because the dealership really makes their money on the car repairs. Now, I'm not trying to stop them from making money. I'm just trying to keep more money. It's about how much money you can hold on to, which is going to make you, financially successful. You want to increase your income, but you get to a certain income you got to start to learn how to keep more of your money and invest them into things that are going to bring you back more money. So I took my car to the dealership. I believe the first time it was a complimentary oil change, and I didn't know about the fan, the hybrid battery. If you block the vent, you'll get codes. So I was getting a little worried. This was like in 2020. I didn't know anything about it, and I started researching and studying. I said, oh, okay, I just pretty much wasted it. I think they charged me, like $100 for a diagnostic or something like that. And if I had known that, I was just learning about hybrids at that time. So I didn't take it back to the dealership, I believe, after that. That's the only work I got done at the dealership was that. I think it was coolant, hybrid battery overheating. It was some code that would flash up on the dash. So oil change, and I think I let them do my oil change one other time that I paid for. All right, so I believe I let them do one oil change. It was because of time, and I didn't have my tools with me. I was in another area or something like that, and I needed an oil change. So, but now I carry not all my tools, but all my necessary tools with me in the car now. I carry the minimal, like in my Rav4, I carry my full-size jack, some hand tools and impact gun with me. In the Corolla, I carried a smaller jack and a basic set of hand tools. All right, but at the time, I didn't have the hand tools with me, so I had to pay for the oil change. Now, my advice is going to work best for those that are savvy, that can follow instructions on simple maintenance. Problems that came up. One of the things that came up were, friends and family asking me for money. That was, I would say, not big, but it could have hindered my payments and me making my double payments or making bi-weekly payments. So I've always had a little money set aside to help friends and family out. So instead of just let's say someone needed $100, I would come up with $35, and I would get other friends and family together, in my group to pay the friend or family member that needed the money. Now, this is, of course, if I actually believe it's legitimate. Now, I know certain people in your life are going to come to you with schemes and lies. I've been trained over the years, by observation and trial and error and practice, who is telling the truth and who's bending the truth or outright lying, and I'll do my best to at least fulfill part of that need for that friend or family member. So you can give up the $100, but I would give up $35 and rally the troops, so to speak, to help the person. So that could have been a huge hindrance on me making bi-monthly payments. Having a set objective. The objective was to get the car paid off, because I know that I'm going to get up to probably 500 miles pretty soon as what it's looking like. As you can see on the title, it's 392 when I reported it to the DMV. And certain repairs may be putting a band-aid on like a gunshot wound, so to speak, and as it ages, the car is going to become less reliable, and it's going to make more sense to invest into another car. And I eventually did that. So I had to not lose sight of the objective. Like I'm not trying to make this car run to 1,000,000 miles while driving 700 miles a day, 400 miles a day, 250 miles a day. It's just not necessary. I don't need it. The distance I'm going is so far. So many things have already happened to me on the road through snowstorms, torrential rainfalls, actually getting stuck in the snow, and having to spend the night at a stranger's house. So getting the car paid off, I did not lose sight of the objective, which was to invest into another car, possibly an SUV with all-wheel drive. That was my goal. That was my objective. All right. So what I inputted was not calling off of work, working when I'm sick, being on time so I can get back home and get rest. Because being on the road, it does take a toll on you after a while for the amount of hours I've been on the road, from 10, 12, 14 hours, 16 hours I've been on the road before. So it's taking care of my health. Taking care of my health has been big. And if you don't take care of your health, you won't be able to work. That might seem very simple, but as you age, you're going to notice this. You're not going to be able to continue to work if you got pains in your back, your neck, your arms, your legs, your head, because of you working 70 hours a week, and you're not getting adequate rest. You're not getting adequate rest and proper nutrition. There was at one time where I was eating Wawa 2 times a day, 3 times a day. I had to stop that. Now, I guess Wawa is not the baddest food, the worst food you can eat, but again, constantly sitting down and not really being that mobile, it will take a toll on you after a couple of years. Now, it depends on your body. Everybody's body's different. It may manifest in different ways. Not everybody's body is, the same. So, daily exercise is a must, especially when driving. So I guess this is advice for drivers. Daily exercise, 5 to 6 days a week. At least 20 to 40 minutes a day. That's what I found out is best for me. And I admit I fell off for quite some time, and I'm just getting back on the exercise with the exercise mindset. I'm getting these pains in my back, my neck, so I have to really pay attention to that. I have to improve on that, and that's starting today. So as you can see, paying a car note off is not impossible. So as long as you have your objective in sight and you don't let friends and family members hinder you. Now, again, unexpected things could come up. You can't control that. But if that's the only thing that's stopping you because of unexpected things like a death in the family or a health problem of yours, you can't prevent that anyway. The only thing you can control is your work ethic and who you give money to. All right? So I controlled that. I controlled my work ethic and who I gave money to. And my income was sufficient enough for me to supply my car note and my lifestyle, which I'm really minimal, and I'm getting better at, practicing minimalism. A lot of things I gotta throw out. Don't have any expensive habits. And you can get the car you want. You just have to be very structured